Looks like they're flushing muddy water at the moment. That's presumably to make it easier to push the pipe down. I can hear the rice factory running, that's good. Is that money's been used properly? Things are still on the go in Bakong. The guys over in the distance are working on the bits that go down the well to bring the water up. At the moment the submersible pump is part way down, slung off that rope. There's a power cable that goes down to it, and it's currently pumping out grey mud. The other thing on the go is I'm getting the insulation on the tank using the leftover Rockwool insulation bats from insulating the ceiling. I still don't think these guys fully understand what it's about, but at least they're doing as I asked, although they don't need to pull those straps too tight. But yeah, I put my hand in the stream from the shower head yesterday afternoon, evening, and yes, you do get an initial charge of cold water from the pipes, but then it actually gets quite pleasantly warm. It's suitable for a shower. Not sure how long that would last before the cold water mixing in from the top tank as the lower tank gets filled up again would yeah, well, there's awkward phrasing what I was saying, but you probably figure out what I mean, that there's water coming in from the top tank to replenish what's being taken out of the lower tank, and that might be cooling down the lower tank a bit. But yeah, that's underway. You can see there's a fixed IP camera has been installed there, and that's to use the PoE splitter and connection, or Ethernet connection and PoE splitter that's currently on this other camera that I've been asked to take down. I don't think they fully understand that yet either, but hopefully they'll just follow instructions without necessarily understanding that one. My check valve from Shopee arrived and it's been installed, so when that's had time for the glue to dry, that valve will be opened, and you can also open that valve then, and we'll get pressure pump feed to the bathroom in daytime, and when the pressure pump goes off, the water in the tank here will be fed to the bathroom when it's used. Hopefully that check valve won't have too much resistance and slow down the water too much. Should be okay. And in the distance you can hear the pile driver for the toll road, and I can actually feel that through the ground. That'd probably be about 1 kilometre and a bit away. So that will be piles for bridge works, I guess. I tried to screw this brass click-on fitting onto the tap at the end there where you see the hose connected. Could not get it to go on without being cross-threaded, so I gave up on that one. Put a plastic one on there, worked fine. Brought the brass one down here, worked fine. I don't pretend to understand why this is so. But yeah, so now we have the hose reel there, and Jabita can water her veggies. So it looks like we have tomatoes and chilies and weeds, and a few old dried chilies sprinkled around, and I hope that they will self-seed. That one might be ginger. Yeah, chilies, 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 and more chilies. And what are these? These weren't chilies, I think. I think these might have been coffee plants. Chilies, chilies, chilies. That pile driver really is loud, but it's very, very calm, so the sound's carrying quite well, including from one of the local mosques. Still thinking I must go for a walk someday and see what the toll road looks like currently. Saying to Jubaida, or asking Jubaida, do you reckon it'll be done by November? Maybe. So I'm hoping that my visitors that are coming in November might be able to get the express ride, because we're about 166 kilometres from the airport to here, and that takes 5 or 6 hours by the time you stop for a meal along the way and a few toilet breaks. It's slow progress in Indonesia. And the first half of that journey from the airport, much of it's on toll road, so it gives you an idea of how slow the rest of it is. Well, I've progressed to wrapping it up. This is the stuff that's got the foil on one side, and I put that on the inside. I don't think using masking tape's really the final answer there. See how long before that comes loose. And currently they're pulling it up again. Wonder why. Somewhere at the bottom of this is a submersible pump. Can't be far away. I have no idea why they're pulling it up, but possibly it's because the screens on the pump have filled up with mud during the initial pump out phase. Pulled up quite a few already. Oh, look at that.
Apa je dot? Mau dia efektif.
So I'm trying to estimate how long these would be. I don't think they'll be 4 metres. Yeah, maybe. So call it 4 metres. You're going to need 25, 26 of those. Oh, here's the pump.
Murah nak aku nak disemprot.
Sebit-sebit lagi, sebit. Lucu dikit mungkin. Agak nang dikit. Udah lagi di sana.
Bener na. Udah terima awas meleset. Itu awas meleset.
Ya aku terokok. Merokok bukan.
Clogger of mud. It's 3 o'clock the next afternoon and the pile driving's still going on. And these guys have had trouble with the bore apparently, as they've pulled some of the bore casing back up again, which wasn't an easy exercise. Not sure what the problem is, not sure what the solution is, but just have to leave it with them. Meantime, the camera from the tank stand is mounted over the shed now, but still waiting on a POE splitter to come from an online purchase. But, 4 of those in order because I'm going to need 3 of them at least. But yeah, life goes on. Lower tank is thoroughly wrapped in insulation. Some plastic screw top, I guess. I told them they should leave it fluffy because the air is what does the insulation, but I don't think that came across in translation. So there's multiple layers there. There's a layer of rock wall insulation which is strapped around with the blue straps and a tighter spacing of those straps. Then there's the alfoil backed insulation film wrapped around that and taped down. And there's a layer of gaffer tape over that. And there's this other stuff that's gone over it, which is a different tape, I think, with more straps around it, so that ain't going anywhere. Meanwhile, they're working on fixing up that roof a bit there, because it tends to leak from this concrete bit when it rains heavily. It runs down over the edge of that. Well, the bad news is at 105 metres we've still got salty water, so this effort has been abandoned and we'll just recover what we can from it in the way of pipe, and we have the pump, so maybe, yeah, I don't know. But on the scale of things, it's not that much money wasted. So they're going to recover what they can, and we'll just put it aside to be used at a later date if we have a use for it. Sometimes when there's a downpour, this area here gets water on it, and I think it comes off, well, I know it comes off the edge of that concrete shelf above there. And we mentioned that problem to the guys, saying, well, it's not the water coming in there. I've been accused of over-engineering things, but I think in this case, it wasn't me. I would have just gone for a simple sort of gutter or tray underneath that edge, leading down to that bit of roof there, to catch the drips and redirect them. That's not what these guys did. We've got a fully plastic enclosed lower tank stand, and I'm not guaranteeing that's going to stop the problem, because this end of that concrete shelf is still exposed to the rain, so if the water runs along there it could well end up dripping down inside still. So we'll see. Over here at the shed we got some cables run and up through that 3/4 inch pipe as conduit, and those 4 cables go from the PoE switch to the 4 locations for cameras, of which 2 are installed, but I need 4 PoE splitters to put on the ends of those cables before they can be connected to the cameras. So yeah, so more cameras and PoE splitters are coming. just as I came out to talk about this, the sun has gone behind a cloud. It might emerge again. The reason for painting this wall of the tank black and the roof is to heat the water inside, because I figured this water is being used at the far end of the building for washing your hand and spraying your bum with the Chataf. Let's see what we got. 47, 46, 46, 44. So if we go up to the top, down the bottom, 47, 48. That's kind of consistent with the fact that the water that comes out of this tank is coming at the bottom of the far side, so furthest from the heat source, and as we all know, warm water rises, so it's the coolest of the water, and coming out of the tap at the far end, once you let it run for a while so that you get fresh water through, it's actually pretty warm. It's working as planned. In fact, what I was getting out of that tap would have been ideal for a shower, which we don't have in there. May have to reconsider that option. The only downside, of course, is if it gets too hot coming out of here, there is no alternate source of water to mix with it to make it cooler. So if it starts getting too hot, what we have to do then obviously is paint part of the tank white to reduce the heat inflow. So you might end up here with a zebra striped tank at some later stage. We shall see. You have ongoing leaks where the pipes come out of the tank. Not a huge volume, so I'm not greatly stressed. I get concerned about that is if we get into a drought situation and the water level starts coming down too rapidly. There's most of our bore casing, and presumably that's our pipe for the water over there. The way Jabita was talking, Azra and Dadang wanted that to still be operational, and they would use it for washing their scooters and truck and what have you. And I'm thinking that'll be a bad idea, because if it's salty water it's just going to corrode them. So I don't know how deep that goes, but there's still a pipe in there. But the guys have packed up and left. So bugger if I know. And Jabita talked about, oh, what about watering plants? But no. Salt water? Yeah, that'll kill your plants. So I don't see a use for it myself. So I don't know why there's a pipe left in the ground. No one. Sometimes I'm not in charge. Yeah, the other thing I've been doing today is taking a series of screen grabs from the shed facing camera, and I think the changes a bit across the day. I'm going to do probably 2 or 3 more. So we've got 7 AM, 9 AM, noon and 3 PM. So I'll probably do 6 and 8, something like that. Looks pretty spectacular at night, I gotta tell you. It's only got 9 3-watt bulbs around the outside of it, but they illuminate the whole thing pretty well for 27 watts. It's amazing. But anyway, this is probably enough to make this video long enough it's worthwhile uploading, so I shall do so. Catch you next time.